to keep on running. You've got 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 to keep on running.
Full stride as Shohei takes the mound here at Busch Stadium for the first time. And Gooby, it feels like this is the #1 reason why they changed the schedule and gave interleague play more of a push so that players like this can be showcased in all the ballparks more often.
Yeah, Wayne, how often do you see a visiting player get a round of cheers when he came to the plate? I was going to do on the mound. It's amazing. I think it's great for baseball to have an opportunity to see Shohei Ohtani as a road player. My go-to to have success today against this Cardinal lineup is that sweeper on the inside and outside part of the plate. So it's such a good feel for it, and use fastball to set up the off-speed pitches. He had a good fastball working last time out. He could get that fastball anywhere between 93 depending on the sinker and four-seamer at 101 miles per hour. So there's separation in the speeds of his fastball, but that'll set up the off-speed.
There's the Cardinal lineup with Lars Nootbaar, Shohei's best friend, leading off. Two guys named Nolan. You don't see that every day. Gorman and Arenado. Only 6 Nolans in Major League history. Of course, Nolan Ryan being one of them. Brendan Donovan was a Gold Glove utility winner last year, the first ever in the National League. He bats 8th, but here is Nootbaar against Ohtani in the bottom of the first. New friends, Shohei Ohtani and Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar was the only non-Japanese born player on Samurai Japan in the World Baseball Classic. Whiffs on that off-speed pitch from Shohei, and it's quickly 2 strikes on Nootbaar.
And he went 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner, and he backed it up with a breaking ball sweeper on the outside part of the plate.
Erica talked about the pepper grinder celebration that Nootbaar brought to Team Japan. Well, the whole country was doing it. Yeah, the entire Japanese baseball culture doing the pepper grinder every time Samurai Japan did something well in the WBC, and they did a lot of things well because they were the winners. In large part thanks to Shohei, was the WBC MVP. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nootbaar.
You can see he's amped up a little bit there. That 0-2 splitter he threw. Generally, it's the first one he throws of the game has got a chance to bounce up there. He overthrew it. Now he overthrew a sweeper.
Well, Nootbaar's become sort of a celebrity in Japan. Not Shohei status, but he's in some Japanese commercials now. Full count on Nootbaar. Right now, there are commercials in Japan airing starring Lars Nootbaar for protein bars and eyewear.
He's went from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count here.
Swing and a miss. Ohtani strikes out his new best bud. Nootbaar goes down for the first out.
Yeah, Nootbaar's got a pretty high on-base percentage, so he is patient. He doesn't chase a lot, but that was in the zone. Getting a swing and miss with his sweeper. It's one thing Shohei does very, very well. He gets some chases, but he gets a lot of swing and misses in the zone.
So first out on a strikeout. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. He's been the one consistent Cardinal offensively to start the year. Goldschmidt batting above 300 to begin the season.
He's a tough hitter. He's got a hard hit rate of 58.5%. Top 10 in baseball, and also exit velocity of 95.2 miles per hour. So he's hit the ball hard all season long for the Cards. 2 sinkers in this sequence for Shohei against them. The creative one already in the game.
Goldschmidt, a guy who really just does everything right on the baseball field. But he chases that for strike 3. It was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that ran away. That was with his shoelaces untied. Ohtani tying his cleats
So he
after
threw
striking out Goldschmidt.
2 sinkers and then a 4-seam fastball that had some serious cut to it. Wow.
You get a swing like that out of Paul Goldschmidt with your shoelaces flapping around. I mean, that is really something to see Goldschmidt flail at a pitch like that.
And he is so good. Fastballs up and away. He missed out by a bunch.
First pitch swinging, and here's a drive off the bat of Nolan Gorman. That one's going to reach the seats. After back-to-back strikeouts to start the night, Ohtani coughs up a homer, and it's Gorman giving the Cardinals a 1-0 lead.
First home run that Shohei has allowed to a left-handed batter. Those 2 home runs that last time out against Oakland with right-handed batters. And generally, though, this season much better. If you're going to have success against Shohei, it's the first pitch.
First home run hit by a Cardinal in nearly a week. Last Thursday, the last time a Redbird hit a homer.
Went with another fastball. That was a sinker that ran to the barrel of the bat, and it goes right to dead center field. 7th home run for Gorman. 23 RBI.
So here's Arenado, the Nolan that you expect to do damage, although he hasn't lately. Just 1 extra base hit for Arenado over his last 17 games. It has been a struggle. The great third baseman of the Cardinals.
It's the 4th home run now that Gorman has hit on the first pitch this year. He's now 11 for 18 on the first pitch.
An early deficit thanks to that home run by Nolan Gorman.
It's amazing. Every time Shohei takes the mound, you almost anticipate something magical. Whether it's a no-hitter, perfect game, something magical. 2 punch-outs in a row, and then first pitch swinging by Gorman. Just like that, the Cardinals are up 1-0, now falling behind 3-0.
And he walks Arenado. That's the 18th free pass issued by Shohei this year.
Hyundai key for the game today. Going to Nelly today. Ride with me. Obviously with Shohei Ohtani on the mound and in the batter's box today. Key point, key reason this team would have a chance to be able to win the second game and win the series here against the Cardinals. Jump on that back of Shohei Ohtani.
Now Wilson Contreras will be the batter after the first 2 batters struck out. It's been a home run and a walk. There's a strike to Contreras. Wallach framing that over the outside corner. Contreras fouls that one off, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The defense behind Shohei Ohtani here today. Zach Neto has been excellent. He's turned 10 double plays, including a magical one last night. Anthony Rendon, Brandon Drury, Gio Urshela in the infield. Chad Wallach behind the plate. Taylor Ward out in left, Mike Trout in center. Hunter Renfroe with his 59 career outfield assists out in right field. There's a warning there for allowing him to get in the batter's box. We saw that all last night with Contreras.
It happened at least twice in the game yesterday with Wilson Contreras. You know, Contreras kind of just wanders around the batter's box in a way that he's in the box, but he's not really looking at the pitcher, and it certainly seems like that is something that he is purposely doing to mess with the pitcher's timing.
Yeah, he's trying to aggravate him a little bit too.
He's doing it right now. He's in the box. And he's kind of looking at Shohei, but he's not ready to hit necessarily. So he kind of looks around here. So this is Contreras' way of messing around with the pitch timer.
Yeah, because he's not even in there now. Finally, he's in there. You know, Matt Moore, yeah, there you go with that swing and miss. Was not real happy with him.
Yeah, after all that, he strikes him out. 3 strikeouts, but a home run allowed, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Shohei Ohtani struck out 3 in the bottom of the first. His next strikeout will be his 50th of this season. He's nearing 500 in his career, and he's also approaching Babe Ruth's total number of career strikeouts.
Which we got clarification on that. So like 501 or 502, but it seemed to be 501 for Babe Ruth.
The Elias Sports Bureau, which is really the true record holder, record keeper, has Ruth at 501. Here's Alec Burleson taking a strike. Neto is really close to being too far over to the second base bag. If he takes one step over, the Cardinals might be able to take a look at it.
Well, you went on that one and a strike. Sweeper working.
It's the go-to pitch for Shohei. He's throwing it now more than ever. He's working ahead here on Alec Burleson, who has some power. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And occasionally he's hit some batters this year with his sweeper because he overthrows it every once in a while. It's got too much break to it, especially against a lefty.
Ohtani now with 490 career strikeouts on the mound. As Burleson rolls that one to the right side. Drury kicks it, picks it up, and has no play. So Brandon Drury commits an error to begin the bottom of the second. Burleson on to begin the inning for the Cardinals. Before Dylan Carlson comes up, here's Erica Weston.
Guys talking about Shohei Ohtani preparing for this game today by sitting in the dugout last night. In fact, the second the game was over last night, he was already out on the mound, getting a look at how his U was going to look at home on top of the mound. Excuse me, that was Griffin Canning that ran up there with him after the high five line. He said it felt really close, and if you've never been on a mound before, you kind of just want to get a feel for it. And sometimes that backstop is. That wild pitch gets away from Chad Wellach, but sometimes the backstop really far away and it can feel bigger than it actually is. So it's just something they do the day before pitching on a new mound. Reed Detmers also popped in there at the end, and he said sometimes it looks like the field just keeps going. So Shohei, the ever prepared one, the second the game was over, getting a feel for what that mound was going to look like tonight.
Griffin Canning will pitch tomorrow as well, so opportunity for him to take a look at it. But here for the Cardinals, an opportunity to score a run thanks to an error by Drury, and then a wild pitch putting Burleson at second. Now Dylan Carlson, who has struggled at the plate this year, bats with nobody out.
And especially you mentioned nobody out here, so he's trying to hit a ball on that right side of the infield to advance Burleson over to third base. Shohei's trying to get that punch out. Shohei's so good with runners in scoring position.
Historically good when it comes to runners in scoring position for Ohtani. Strikeouts in the American League. Ohtani's third right now.
Went back to the almost exact same spot 4 times in a row here.
Kevin Gausman and Garrett Cole, the only pitchers ahead of Shohei. His shoes keep getting untied here. This is the 3rd time he's had a relace.
And that's that push off back foot. So you can tell he's really, there's a lot of torque in there pushing off the pitching rubber. He uses his lower half of his body really, really well. Almost that Nolan Ryan school of using your lower half to create that arm speed to throw as hard as he does.
On 2-2. Carlson takes one that goes off the glove of Wallach and to the backstop. That was another fastball from Shohei that had a lot of run on it, and Wallach couldn't catch up to it. So it's 2 wild pitches, and now 7 on the year for Ohtani. Wallach normally a pretty good receiver. And an error and 2 wild pitches has put Ohtani on the ropes here in the bottom of the second. Now a 3-2 pitch to Carlson. And he tops it right off his foot.
Shohei's so good as getting that punch out when he needs. He needs that punch out now. The offense respond with Brandon Drury's home run, tie it up, but now a great opportunity for the Cardinals to get that lead right back, even with an out.
Three and 2 again. And Carlson fouls one off again. Ohtani trying to bury that sweeper into an unhittable spot, but Carlson keeps getting a piece.
Go back to Erica's talk about the mound and sometimes going out there to see because he never pitched off this field. Sometimes when you have a longer backstop, it feels like the mound is so far away from home plate. Other times when you see it, it's as close as it is here. It feels like you're right on top of home plate. So it's a matter of getting that visual part of it before you even take the mound and throw the baseball for Shohei.
As a pitcher here, you know you need a strikeout. He's throwing that sweeper now 3 times in a row with 2 strikes. Now, what's the hitter thinking? Is he trying to prepare himself for something else, or is he staying on that sweeper?
He's still thinking he's seeing and looking for a sweeper.
See what happens now on this 3-2 pitch. It's the fastball, and it's in there. Strike 3 called.
To your
it was
point.
99, and that's where he was looking for the sweeper.
Yes, he was. And he was looking for the sweeper, and he got the express. You mentioned about Nolan Ryan throwing and using that lower half so well. You're talking about using the lower half to create that arm speed at 99-mile-an-hour fastball for Shohei.
He started that pitch in the same spot that he started the sweepers previous to Carlson. Completely confused him. Now Brendan Donovan. As he takes ball 1, Donovan, a guy who makes more contact, a little tougher to strike out.
See with the infield in here in the 2nd inning.
Runner at 3rd, Burleson, not great speed. Now 1 ball, 1 strike on Donovan.
Already 4 strikeouts in the game for Ohtani.
All 4 outs so far that have been recorded by Shohei have been strikeouts. He could use another one here.
Yeah, 2 on a sweeper, 2 on a 4-seamer.
Fastball that Donovan fouled back. Another 99-mile-an-hour pitch.
Yeah, there's times where Shohei dials it up there to 80, 98, 99, and 100 miles an hour certain points of the game. Usually you see that later in the game, but he understands the importance of getting that punch out now. Now you can go to your splitter, sweeper, or back upstairs with a 4-seamer.
It's 1-2 on Brendan Donovan. And a foul. It was a sweeper that stayed up a bit.
He's got about 36.6% whiff percentage with a sweeper. 25 strikeouts coming to game now. 27 on the season with his sweeper. It's 27 of 50 strikeouts this year have been on a sweeper.
Went to the fastball but missed his spot. A little bit upstairs, a little bit away. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Donovan. Number 9 batter Tommy Edman on deck. That one gets away from Shohei as well. Wallach able to keep that near home plate. 2 wild pitches in this inning, putting Burleson at 3rd after he reached on an error by Brandon Drury. Keep in mind the Angels are tied with the Rockies for the most unearned runs allowed in the major leagues. They've given up 20 this year. Could be 21 if Burleson makes his way to the plate. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. 99 upstairs, and Donovan punches out. Back-to-back Ks for Ohtani.
And he missed it by that much. 99, Agent 99, twice in this inning. A strikeout for Shohei. Upper part of the strike zone.
Normally it's Seinfeld in here, but Seinfeld was like in junior high when that show was out.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Here's Tommy Edman with 2 outs. The infield can back up.
That's for our good buddy Dan Plesac. He always loved that. Agent 99.
Strike 1 to Edman. Most of those numbers you see from Edman have come while him batting right-handed. At the left side of the plate, it's been a different story, as Edman has hit just .203 left-handed.
Well, he's had some movement on his fastball here tonight.
The one that struck out Goldschmidt moved by about a foot out of the zone. An error and 2 wild pitches has Burleson at 3rd. He was there with nobody out. He's still there with 2 outs. Just missed, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Tommy Edman.
It's amazing, though, when Shohei has runners in scoring position, how that effort level goes even higher. So you hear the grunt, the determination to put up a 0.
Tried the back door and just missed. It's 3-1. Nootbaar on the top of the order next. The sweeper finds the bottom of the zone. Edman checked his bat. Thought it was ball 4, but instead it's now 3-2 count.
Yeah, that got a lot of the strike zone. Not anticipating that, but you can never anticipate anything with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. There's really no book on what to sit on. I mean, that had some serious break to it. That was almost like a curveball.
So it's 3-2 on Tommy Edman. And he fouls one off, a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, as Ohtani has mixed between that pitch and the sweeper ever since Burleson got into scoring position.
And his sweeper spin rate is about over 2,700. So he's got some serious spin rate on his sweeper so far tonight.
Swing and a miss. Edman strikes out, and Shohei Ohtani, after an error and 2 wild pitches, strikes out 3 in a row to win the inning.
Singles already and 6 strikeouts. On the mound, he's had 3 strikeouts with his fastball at 99.
The incredible Shohei Ohtani, and we're getting all of the opportunities tonight to see the full-fledged show. Showtime indeed here in St. Louis tonight, as Ohtani has 2 hits and an RBI. He has 6 strikeouts on the mound, including the last 3 hitters in the bottom of the second, all with a man on third, as Ohtani was able to work through some trouble.
So the second time through a lineup, a little bit of a jump for Shohei, but part of that was that second time through against Oakland that last time out. 068 first time through, 242 the second, and third time through, no hits.
Lars Nootbaar, who was actually given a watch by Ohtani after Nootbaar's performance for Japan in the World Baseball Classic.
So back-to-back backdoor sweepers.
Shohei said, I'll give you the watch under one condition. You have to play for us again in 2026, or you have to give it back. So I think Nootbaar is in, or Shohei is going to get a 3-year-old watch. Nootbaar strikes out. That is 7 strikeouts for Shohei Ohtani, and 4 in a row.
Maybe just give him that watch so he wouldn't be on time for the game today. He's punched him out twice already. Shohei's always the thinker. You never know with Shohei. Splitter. Nasty splitter. His balance is so good. The way he drives, uses that lower half of his body, looks like a strike, and then bottom drop.
Well, it looked like a strike, and it still finished as a strike. That was a splitter in the zone to strike out Nootbaar.
Starts higher in the zone, ends up in the lower part of the zone. It's amazing what he does.
So now Paul Goldschmidt, who struck out his first time on a pitch that was about a foot outside. There's a sweeper for a strike.
Yeah, that first pitch was in the 70s for a sweeper. It was almost the same type of break as the fastball he struck him out on.
That sweeper is fouled off. Ohtani entered tonight with an opponent's batting average of 102. By far and away the best in the majors. Spencer Strider of the Braves came in second at 154. A 52-point difference between first and second. Ohtani's allowed just 1 hit tonight, the homer to Gorman. That pitch hits Goldschmidt. So control is still somewhat of an issue. That is 7 hit batsmen, 7 wild pitches this year, and also 18 walks. The strike zone's been elusive, but when he's been in it, he gets a lot of swings and misses within the strike zone.
That OPS, first batting average, first slugging percentage against, strikeouts on in-zone pitches. That means every hitter's trying to force you into the strike zone, but you put those type of numbers when you're in the zone, that makes it even more remarkable for Shohei.
There's Gorman jumping at a first pitch from Ohtani after Gorman had a first pitch homer in the first inning. Apparently Gorman thought he was going to get a similar pitch. He did not.
By the way, he hit Goldschmidt with a splitter that one. Every once in a while, when he drops his wrist on the splitter, especially a right-handed batter, it runs in like almost like a two-seamer.
Gorman's had a nice start. 7 homers, leads the Cardinals. Ball's in the dirt. Taking off for second is Goldschmidt, and he's going to be thrown out by Chad Wallach. Well, you almost never see Goldschmidt get thrown out on the bases, and he is cut down by Wallach for the second out here in the third.
Yeah, you talk about great base runners. You think of Paul Goldschmidt, Anthony Rendon. They're not stolen base threats necessarily, but they're great base runners. But that one was not a wise decision, not far enough away from Chad Wallach. Nice job recovering. And sometimes when you're facing a pitcher like Shohei Ohtani, you'll take some chances on the bases, and that's exactly what he did, and it ended up being the wrong decision.
Now, Paul Goldschmidt has not been caught stealing in about 4 years. Let's go back to May of 2019, the last time Goldschmidt was caught stealing. He's had 26 straight stolen base attempts that have been successful. So he just never runs into an out like that. That won't be a caught stealing necessarily, just an out trying to an advance, but you get the picture that something like that rarely happens with Goldschmidt.
Starting to throw his splitter a little bit more in this inning, Shohei.
A full count on Gorman. Hit hard but foul.
Every once in a while when you see Shohei, when he throws quite a few splitters, he'll always make sure everything's okay with his finger. That's why he doesn't been thrown as much this season. He's about a 6% splitter usage. That's a good pitch.
There's strike 3 called. It is the 8th strikeout for Shohei Ohtani. He's only been pitching for 3 innings, and he's got a 3-1 lead.
Be able to backdoor that sweeper.
There's still time. First Angel starter to record his first 7 outs in a game by strikeout since Frank Tanana in 1976. Tanana struck out 13 eventually in that game overall, and there's strike 1 to Arenado. Shohei has punched out 8. Those Angels rotations in the 70s with Tanana and Nolan Ryan, even Andy Messersmith at one point. He could really pitch. Arenado hooks one. That is a fair ball down the line, and it's going to be the first extra base hit in a long while for Arenado, just his 2nd in his last 18 games.
Yeah, he got that sweeper right down the line. That got the inside part of the play right into his swing pass, especially because the first pitch he threw was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Just like that, a runner in scoring position again.
This one just barely touching the chalk. It was nearly a foul ball. Nearly took out the ball dude over there. Oh, it did take him out. Oh, no. Happens to Gooby in the booth every now and
Oh,
then.
definitely.
Toward the right field corner. This could be trouble. That's a fair ball, a base hit. Arenado scores back-to-back doubles, plating a run, and it's Wilson Contreras making it 3-2.
See that too often, extra base hits. Against Shohei Ohtani, especially with a runner in scoring position. That sweeper, the same thing, very similar to the sweeper he threw to Arenado. It's one thing, you throw that a lot. Every once in a while, that'll get more of the plate, and that's exactly what happened.
The sweepers have been productive for Shohei tonight. He has 8 strikeouts, half of those coming on the sweeper. The lead just 1 now. And Alec Burleson looks at a strike with the tying run on second.
Boy, the way he can elevate the sweeper, the way he can take a little bit off it, go to corner with it.
Burleson just slapping at that pitch. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Ohtani.
That's all you can do as a hitter, is to try to stay alive in a bat, especially when you have a backdoor sweeper at 83 to 85 range, and then you have to deal with 99.
Oh, 2. And Burleson strikes out. That's number 9 for Shohei.
Now that one right there had some serious downward tilt, some serious late spin to it. With man on second and no outs, you're looking for that punch out, and he got it. It's nasty by Shohei. Front shoulder stayed in. He's got that deception. Then off the plate, the foot was already moving for Burleson, unable to make contact.
So 1 out. Here's Carlson. Remember, with a man on third in the second, Ohtani struck out 3 straight hitters. He's dealing with the tying run on second base here. He has struck out Burleson. 9 punch-outs for Shohei tonight.
Yeah, 26-13 RPMs on that last sweeper.
Fly ball off the bat of Carlson, hit pretty well. Trout still going back all the way to the wall, and it's gone. That one just kept carrying. Dylan Carlson has his first home run of the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. It is 4-3.
I can't believe how far that baseball just kept carrying, even when you look at Trout off the bat. It just kept going and going. Very similar. So there's 3 sweepers in this inning for Shohei. And he got that launch angle lifted in the air. You see Trout going back, thinking he's got a play on it. Just like that, the Cardinals are up in this game.
It's back-to-back starts now where Ohtani has given up 2 home runs in each.
It's been that big inning going against Shohei, which is something you never really see.
It's Gorman and Carlson with the homers today. Last time against Oakland, Shea Langoliers and Brent Rooker. 2 doubles and a homer in this inning, and the Cardinals have gone ahead. The rear back gets 100 on that fastball and strikes out Brendan Donovan. That is the 10th strikeout for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I know, because that sweeper's so good, and it's a dominating pitch. But sometimes you always wonder, Shohei, if he uses that fastball a little bit more. It is a devastating 4-seam fastball.
He has reached 10 strikeouts for the 3rd time in a game this year. Did so 10 times last year. And there's strike 1 to Edman. His career high 13 in a game last season against Kansas City.
With 75 pitches. Still under control as far as the pitch count, as far as you might be able to get at least a couple more innings for Shohei.
I know Phil Nevin would love that before turning it over to the bullpen tonight, although Ohtani has had kind of a topsy-turvy night. He's allowed 4 runs on 4 hits to go with 10 strikeouts. Tapper off the bat of Edman. Rendon had it played perfectly, and with a stretch at first, Urshela gets the out to end the inning. The Cardinals have taken the lead on Shohei. After Zach Neto was hit on the fingers trying to bunt a pitch in the top of the 5th inning, he has come out of the game. Luis Rengifo is now playing second base. He'll go into Neto's spot in the lineup as the Angels shift their infield around. Urshela moves to shortstop, and Brandon Drury is now at first. We'll get an update about that after the game. Not really a good update before the game with regard to José Quijada, as Lars Nootbaar leads off the bottom of the 5th. It sounds like the Angels' expectation is that Quijada is going to need surgery. Tommy John surgery likely headed his way.
Yeah, it's such a high energy guy. It's been so many of those big moments coming into high stress situations. Effective.
Best case scenario, it's 12 to 14 months on the short end of Tommy John recovery. So maybe we see him sometime in the first half next year or around the All-Star break, but it'll be a while. Certainly that's a blow to the Angels bullpen in the short term.
Yep. He saw that velocity down that last time. It was 88, 89. The first few pitches he threw his last time out.
Lars Nootbaar strikes out to start the 5th. And that is the 11th punch out for Shohei Ohtani tonight.
Continues to get strikeouts with his four-seam fastball.
He has struck out Nootbaar 3 times. It's really a juxtaposition to the 4 runs he's given up tonight. All 4 Cardinal hits have been extra base hits. 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Here's Goldschmidt. Ohtani just 2 shy of his career high in strikeouts, 13, which he set last June against Kansas City.
Well, he's had some life on his four-seamer, though. Wow.
I talked about it earlier that it could be such an effective pitch. He throws it so hard. And this year he's only thrown it about a quarter of the time. He's really fallen for that sweeper as he goes to 2 balls and a strike on Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt the MVP in the National League last year. Ohtani in the American League 2 years ago. A battle of MVPs here as it goes to 3 balls and a strike. 3rd time through the order. Well, Ohtani has been masterful. Opponents are now 0 for 32 with 18 strikeouts after Nootbaar struck out to begin the inning. Goldschmidt takes strike 2. 0 for 32 the 3rd time through the order. I mean, it's one thing to not lose anything the 3rd time through the order. It's another to completely dominate the 3rd time through.
And also make some adjustments on what you're going to throw the 3rd time through for Shohei Ohtani.
Just part of the wonder of Shohei, what he's done the 3rd time through the order. And now Paul Goldschmidt strikes out.
Another fastball he struck out. Goldschmidt, who's a very good fastball hitter.
That's a dozen strikeouts.
Wow, you see with Shohei, this is fastball by a great fastball hitter. 3rd time through, the adjustments he makes, the pitches he throws, the more changes he will make. Throw a few less sweepers 3rd time through.
Nolan Gorman takes a strike. So now it's 0 for 33 with 19 strikeouts the 3rd time through the order for Ohtani. First 2 batters 3rd time through tonight. He has struck out both. He's ahead of Nolan Gorman 0-1. And now 0-2 after a high fastball.
You can see that splitter now.
The 0-2 coming to Gorman. And it's way high and outside for ball 1.
Another four-seam fastball.
Gorman with a rope into right field, and that's a base hit.
That's the first hit he has allowed the 3rd time through. He went back to another fastball 1st time through. Sweeper 54%, four-seamer 28, 18 at other pitches he will throw. But then the 3rd time through, sweep percentage goes down. Fastball percentage about the same, but the percentage of the splitter, curve, cutter, and slider increase up to 29%. That hit he allowed there was on a four-seam fastball.
It's a strange outing considering that he's been hit hard at times and dominant at others. Here's Arenado following off the first pitch. I mean, how do you kind of recognize that this is a 12 strikeout performance while he's given up 4 runs?
Well, he's providing a lot of the power, although a couple of sweepers are the ones that have been hit, especially that inning, last inning when he gave up 3 runs.
He had a streak going of 3 or fewer hits allowed over 10 straight starts. Tied with Jacob deGrom for the longest in Major League history. That has ended tonight. He's allowed 5 hits in this game. 2 to Nolan Gorman, who's at first. Arenado doubled his last time. There's a sweeper in the dirt to make it 2 balls and a strike. Ohtani now 94 pitches, so this might be the last inning.
Neto looks fairly comfortable today against Shohei to walk the first at bat.
No, it's just
He hasn't been real confident of late, but he looks it today. Watch his BP today. He was hitting the ball hard.
Hard swing, and he just missed. Kia player profile, that streak for Ohtani ending tonight. One that he matched Jacob deGrom with from deGrom's dominance a couple of years ago. Who knows when deGrom will pitch again for the Texas Rangers. He's back on the injured list.
So he wants to know what the count is.
Yell it out. It's 2-2. Arenado on top of that 99-mile-an-hour fastball. The more pitches that are thrown here, the less likely it is that we'll see Ohtani in the 6th inning, at least on the mound. Back to lacing up the cleats. Have to do that a few times tonight. Check swing, and it's strike 3 for the 13th strikeout tonight. Shohei Ohtani has tied his career high. Nolan Arenado punching out for the first time tonight, couldn't hold his swing, and Ohtani's at 13 Ks through 5. Hit one off Colin Ray on Sunday. And he drives this ball to right center field. This is deep. Newbar's going to watch it go. The game is tied. Jake Lamb delivers. A game-tying pinch hit home run. And it's 4-4 here in the top of the 9th.
Got the slider, drives it out, and silences the crowd here in St. Louis. Jake Lamb, wow, what a trip you've had so far here in the Midwest. Home run to Milwaukee, home run here, tied up here. St. Louis, Neto, yes. Wow.
One of the most dramatic Kabuto-wearing moments. Easy call to make. Now Trout hits one deep to left. This one might go back near the wall. O'Neill, and it's gone. Mike Trout has given the Angels the lead. 2 home runs in the top of the 9th, and the Angels have stormed back to take a 5-4 lead in St. Louis.
How great does Mike Trout feel on that swing? Be able to hit that one out here in the 9th inning, the go-ahead run, home run for the GOAT. Right down the left field line. Another slider, another home run. Oh, he's feeling good right there. The high fives. Better watch your hand when you're high-fiving Mike Trout down the dugout now.
Edman loops one to left. Here comes Taylor Ward. Say goodnight to the Cardinals. The Angels storm back in the 9th inning. They get a highlight of a victory at Busch Stadium. A 3-run top of the 9th and a cascade of boos here in St. Louis, the likes of which are rarely heard directed toward the Cardinals, as the Angels have won the first 2 games of this series, and Gooby tonight in improbable fashion.
Yeah, Wayne, I love what I looked at center field after that last out is make Mike Trout as much enthusiasm and much energy as you've seen in a long, long time. That was a huge hit for Trout and the Angels to go ahead home run after Jake Lamb tied it up at 4, and then Shohei with a double, Anthony Rendon with a big RBI single. But I love the energy right now as you're seeing Mike Trout right there. That is a huge hit for him. Shohei Ohtani with 3 hits and 13 punch-outs in the game. The bullpen tonight for the Angels was excellent.
And a beautiful head of hair for Shohei as well as he brushed his hair back. But Mike Trout delivered one of the biggest hits this